Welcome.
We're back.
We are back.
Yes.
It's the Free Gents Podcast, man. Episode 32.
32.
Listen, we have an illustrious, beautiful guest with us. We have the one and only Miss Yulissa.
In the building.
Come on, yo, drop that bomb one more time.
Yeah, one more time,
Mom.
Nah, listen, we have Miss Transparent herself here. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
In the flesh.
Listen.
Oh my God, it feels so beautiful to be here.
Listen, life goes so full circle. We're going to get into the whole story because I want to, first, I don't want to get the people too lost, you know what I'm saying? Because we got some reports, so we could just go off and be talking. Feel me? So I want to get the people to know who you are and what you do exactly. So tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Nice introduction.
Where you from, you know what I'm saying? What your show's called, all that kind of stuff.
My name is Yulissa. This is the first date. I'm a little nervous. No, I'm just kidding. I'm from Jersey. I would say New York adopted me because I spent so much time over there, especially growing up. But definitely, I'm Jersey born.
What part of Jersey?
I was born in Patterson, and then I was getting raised in Rockaway. That's like the suburbs of New Jersey. We don't give them too much clout, but yeah. And,
shout out to Rockaway, stand up.
No.
Okay, no, fuck Rockaway.
No. We're not shouting out Rockaway.
There was some hard times out there.
Hey, but that's what makes us though, you know what I'm saying? To beat them tough times. But okay, so you're from Jersey.
Yeah.
And then you said New York adopted you.
Yeah.
Where'd you end up in New York once you left Jersey?
Oh yeah, for sure. I ended up in Spanish Harlem. So my parents always had a business. They're entrepreneurs in Spanish Harlem.
Of course.
So
East side.
It's an East 106 and Legs.
Okay.
I got that tatted on me.
Let me find out you really got that tatted on me. I'll be crying. That'd be some real gangster shit.
No, I can't do that now. But yeah, my parents had that business. It's older than me, to be honest. So if you are a child of entrepreneurs, you would know that. Literally, that's their baby.
Yeah.
Even if you're an entrepreneur now, understanding business, understanding finances, I'm like, damn, like they were really raising like a child.
Two children.
But I'm the last one.
Oh.
So they already had like a formula for the like other three, but then for me, it was just kind of like raising this business and raising me. So getting to know my parents, like on my days off, I was in the business. Wow. So that's why I say like, I just rest my head in New Jersey, but really, I was outside of New York. Well, all those kids coming out of school and like just.
I'm going straight to the city to go to work.
Yeah.
That's literally the story of my whole bringing up from like 8th grade to graduate and past that.
Yeah, like I just wanted to be next to my parents. I get to know them and see what they were doing. So I would go to the city.
What kind of business was it?
They're glaziers. So they would do like windows, mirrors, glasses, like buildings. So I started learning how to do like contracts.
Yeah, that's different.
Contracting and breaking pricing stuff out.
16 years old doing contracts. I'm like, Mom, let me get 1% of that.
Let me handle the books.
Pricing out a job is no joke.
That's no joke. Yeah. That's dope. So okay, you've been on the entrepreneur spirit. That's dope. That explains a lot because I've seen your come up and it's like, man, people don't know. Like, so boom. She actually did my first interview, and we just found out I did her first interview. Meaning, I was the first guest on her show. In case y'all don't know, check out Transparent on Dash Radio.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? She's been going crazy these last couple of years. Like, I've seen you blowing up, and it's crazy to know that I was the first guest, and then it's like, the people I've seen you get on there, and it's like, but before I get even into those
a few heavy hitters, but
a few.
Before
we're going to get into it, because we're talking international. We're not just talking about right here locally. It's international. Okay.
Damn,
before I get into that, though, all right, so what led you to wanting to be like a media personality and wanting to get into like interviewing and so in depth with the culture? Because you said entrepreneur spirit, but then that's business. This is business, but it's also like I have to have a passion for music and media.
You know what it is that I started off in college in business, and I was doing great. Obviously, like it was within what I do. Like it's just natural to me. But I love to talk shit. You're good.
Talk about the shit you want.
Shit, you know? And a lot of people love animals. I love people.
Okay.
And I think that people are, although I do love my dog Skittles. Shout out to Skittles. Sweet
Skittles.
16 coming up, you know?
Sweet 16? You about to be 16 for real?
Yeah.
God damn. Shout out to Skittles.
I need to start recording me and my dog's day to day because he is a senior citizen.
Oh my God.
And I do keep him alive.
Oh Lord. Are you one of those? You gonna keep him no matter what?
I'm gonna keep him no
to
matter
the wheels
what.
fall off. Now you got to, man. That shit is real love people get to their pets.
Yeah, I love him, but I love people. Like I think people are interesting. I think that conversing with someone and just understanding that like we may look the same, but we're really different.
I like that.
And so I don't know. I just fell in love with that. Yeah. And I started off interning. Like I tell everyone to intern.
The grind. Yeah. Let's talk about it.
Intern for free. Yes, for free.
For people who don't know what that means.
I got pretzels in Sirius XM. There was pretzels and soda, and I had a roommate back then. and her name was Randy, and she was interning at SiriusXM 2, but the other side. Like she's still doing what she does now, but she was doing like the car side.
Yeah,
So she was like the business side. I was like the studio side.
Right.
So literally, like, she had her set 9 to 5, but if anything, I'm like, yo, how can I help the DJs? What can I do after?
That's great.
So I would like be the first person in the studio, go to school, come back to the studio to any event, and we would literally just stay in the little kitchen and eat all the pretzels.
But wait, so what was the passion that drove you to keep wanting to do that, especially for free? When you're doing something for free, you gotta really love it. Like, did you have like an ultimate end goal that you saw? You were like, I'm working this system. I know what I'm doing with this.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, a lot of people have some type of formula.
Right.
And I think that the only formula that I have is just consistency.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. Like,
as long as
I'm
you're
just
pushing
like,
forward.
and it doesn't, to you guys, it's like, damn, you keep going. To me, I may have 5 mental breakdowns, crying on the way to, stuck in traffic, crying on the way, to interview someone, but then I sit down with, let's say, like, I did sit down with Akon, and he's cracking up, like, literally laughing throughout our entire
That's
interview.
fucking
And I'm
crazy.
like, I've never seen an interview with Akon just laughing.
That's fucking
That's
crazy,
And then I'm
man.
like, you know what? Like, I got something. I think that when you find your passion and when you find something you're good at, and it just motivates you to keep going. A lot of people can't find their passion. It's a
100%.
privilege to dream.
Yeah.
And I understand my
Yeah, it
privilege.
is.
Ding.
Yeah, like, I understand. I have a privilege to dream right now. A lot of people don't have that privilege. My parents didn't have it.
Right.
So if they give me the privilege to dream, I'm going to go crazy.
Yeah.
I love that. The
I love-
privilege
wow.
to dream. Wow.
Yeah.
And it's crazy you said the privilege to dream, man. People don't. A lot of people don't have that because they're so
Yeah.
stuck on having to maintain just life and making these bills make sense and trying. You know what I'm saying? The money part gets people stuck on. I got to stay on this regime so I can just stay afloat.
Yeah.
And they don't get to dream.
You don't
And
really
people
get to
not-
push
yeah.
on and try to pursue what you really want because you got to pay the bills.
Yeah, especially once you got kids, like you said, your parents didn't have that chance. I feel like my parents didn't have that chance till me and my brother were grown, and they realized that we were good. That's when they started chasing the dream.
Yeah, like my parents recently, they just retired. They went to DR, right?
Yeah, I'm
They're
still
on-
jacking down and run.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
jacking
they're
your
not.
parents down and
My
run.
dad's gonna see this. Stop. And,
Shout out to
oh my
Pops.
God, they went to DR, but that's been my dad's dream. And
Congrats.
so, like, a part of me, I wanted to be selfish. Like, I'm not where I want to be at yet. Like, how you guys just gonna up and leave me with my 15-year-old dog? Like, my life is crazy, but
15-year-old
my
dog.
15-year-old dog, like, how you gonna do that to me? But that was their dream.
Right.
So they supported me, and now it's me to support you. Like, life is
Full
full circle.
circle.
There
Full
you
circle.
go.
No, and it's crazy because it's such a theme in our like communities for like especially immigrants. They come to America, they get a business, they make it work, and then all they want to do is go back to their
Go
country
back home.
and just start feeding the resources all the way back to where they're from.
And a lot of people can't do that. They go back when they're like sick, or they can't even go back. So it's
Right.
like, you guys are healthy. Go crazy.
Do what you
and-
wanna do.
And a lot of times they go back really as a means to save some money because it's so much cheaper back over there, but it isn't because things are going so great. So
Yeah.
shout out to your parents because they made that dream happen. Because
Yeah.
that's my parents been talking about it since I was a kid. Like, yeah, we're gonna go back. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get a big old house by the beach and we're gonna do all that other stuff. And it's like, all right, I'm waiting on that to happen. It's gonna happen. Because
Yeah.
if they don't make it happen, I'm gonna go
yeah.
Right. I'm proud of
Energy.
my parents.
Yeah,
Everything
you
I
gotta
am
be.
is because of them. So they gave me the privilege to dream. So if I don't go crazy, it's just a disservice to myself, but also to them.
Yeah,
that's-
the sacrifices that they made for you to raise you.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's deep. That's
Wow.
deep. That's deep. And so you said Sirius XM. People don't know that's fucking huge.
Yeah.
You were the
Yeah.
intern at
They-
Sirius XM.
Yeah, I interned at Viacom before that.
Oh wow,
Viacom. Shout out to
Those
Viacom.
are two heavy hitter in the media
super heavy
personalities.
hitters.
Yeah.
So wait, so then how did you pivot and end up over at Dash Radio? And matter of fact, for that, I wanted to know, was Transparent your idea first,
Yeah.
or was Dash Radio like, hey, we want to give you a show and make up a name, or you always had the vision for Transparent from the
Yeah.
Wow.
This is gonna be heavy. Y'all ready? That's
Yeah,
a great
we're
question.
ready. We're
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
ready.
especially- So I'm gonna take you on a quick journey. I'm gonna keep it cute
Please.
though, because
Nah,
I know like
please.
people, we all have a little bit of ADHD, so I'm trying to keep
Now
it
we
cute.
got time though. And you interesting, you got personality. We can listen to you all day. Go ahead.
So literally, I started off as an intern in Viacom, and then under that umbrella, I went to BET. And I had the first time I went to interview, they were like, "Nah, you're too young." Like I was literally just a sophomore in college.
Yeah, barely 20.
Yeah, like literally like maybe 19. And they're like, "No, you're a little too young. Like, we need someone that's a junior." So I was like, I bet. So I went back to school and I upped on mad credits to make it look like I was a junior.
Wow.
So
Good
then
finesse.
I went back. I got really cool with doing. I did like a school project, and I ended up like personality goes a long way, and networking goes a long way. So I met this angel of a person she's named Celeste Zeta,
Right.
and she's still still, I think, at BET, but she's also an actress. And I told her, I'm like, listen, like, do you think I'm gonna be a good fit? She's like, hey, listen, try next semester. If you got your credits in order, I'll put you under my team, but we have to go through a process, you know? So she brings me on. I like kill the interview. I get my first internship in media. I didn't know what I was doing. But throughout that, I worked the last 106 in Park, like, cause I like worked the room, like I met everyone. I met people from the interns from doing like the law, entertainment law. I like literally worked that entire building. Cause I'm like, I need to meet everybody, you know. And I ended up, what did I end up doing? So I ended up meeting some people on the BET 106 side, because I was doing like production side. And like learning how to do budgets and things like that. But I'm like, dang, I want to be in the studio too. So then after my internship was over, they called me back to be a production assistant. And I did that to work the last 106 in Park, to do like the setup for everything.
Yeah, you learning the ins and outs.
That's
great. All the way through.
Yeah, so it was like an amazing experience. And I'm still cool with Celeste. She's like a phone call away from me. And yeah, she's like a mentor, but also like a big sister, you know? Like, even sometimes I need to work certain things out. I'm like, yo, should I spaz? Or I kind of want to go crazy right now, you know? And she sends me like motivational messages, but it just goes like, relationships go a long way. And even if you don't have, because a lot of people feel like you need to be born into this. It's not true. You need to grind and hustle your way into it.
And network your way into it. And make sure that you have a likable personality.
And the thing about what you said earlier is that interning is the fact that you got to learn everything from the ground level. You got to learn
down from having to go get the coffees to having to go move the wires.
That is very important. I still feel like I'm an intern.
That's very important.
I'm always in intern mode, because an intern grinds, an intern is listening, and I can never be the smartest person in the room. There's always goats. Like, there's always goats. Like, people were complaining about not getting paid, and I get it. You need to get paid. Like, Viacom pays you, but my next internship didn't. And people complained about that, did a whole lawsuit. And I get it. You need money to survive. But at the same time, like, I was in the room with Dame Dash.
Yeah, like, that's something that's gonna happen.
As an intern.
Some people would pay for that.
Oh, no, not some. That's something you going. If you're not talking about money, we're not really having a conversation.
So like, I was in the room with like just these amazing people that I'm like, yo, this knowledge that I'm getting, I'm never gonna learn again. You know, like so. So then after that, I applied for, I didn't even apply actually. I was running, I met someone else and they were trying to run like this thing called, it was like BET Breaks, kind of like MTV, like, you know, MTV News? So BET was trying to do something like that. So they were doing kind of like, they were like pitching a lot of shows during this time. So I will always tell Celeste, oh, if it's slow and I finish my work, can I go do, and she's like, all right. Or like people would ask her for me. They're like, oh, can Yulissa come, or can we steal her for a week? So I'm like, okay. So I went to like casting, and I ended up meeting someone else, and her name is Tracy G, and she was the co-host of Sway in the Morning. Mind you, I had no idea. Like, I think she just became the co-host, and I didn't know. Like, me being me, like I really didn't know. I was just myself, showing up, and I'll be on hustle. So one day she tells me, she pulls me inside. She's like, oh, you know, I heard the company 106 in Park is like kind of leaving. Do you ever want to do something and radio? I was like, honestly, I've never thought about radio. I want to be on TV. And then she was like, wait, are you like a production assistant? I'm like, I'm an intern. She's like, no way you're an intern.
You're like, you're not getting paid? You're doing all this?
Yo, she's like, there's no way you're an intern. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm an intern. She's like, yo, the way I see you hustle, we need you over there.
Yeah, it speaks volume.
Yeah, so then I went to radio, and then from there, just kind of like building connections, and I interned for Sway in the Morning, and that was a hell of experience to see like how much work goes behind radio.
See, people don't know that.
Nope.
So much work to see like all the different positions. Like, people think it's just someone like pushing a button and like, oh yeah, like we're gonna play this record. Like, no, there's like rules and regulations, learning like media ethics, and learning like there's just, you know, like that's why Tasha K is really getting sued, because you just can't say anything.
Yeah, I would 100% be getting canceled if I was on actual radio. And like, shout out to YouTube and all that.
Yeah, that's shout out to YouTube.
Because if not, I'll be out of here. There's no way.
Yo, but yeah, like learning all those ins and out of everything, and I just kind of just built connections from that. I met the program director which was Reginald Hawkins at the time. And from there, he became like my mentor.
Wow.
And I was working at my parents' office because it was like that kind of weird gap between college and real life.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, school's wrapping up, but I don't know. Like, you know, and to be honest with you, I went for a job and I didn't get it. I felt slighted. I was in my feelings. And I was like, I'm going to create my own thing. So I was
it takes that.
Yeah.
It takes those kind of setbacks.
I was working with my parents and like everything is glass mirrors. So I was like, yo, what if I have a show called Transparent?
There we go.
Everything's like clear. And so I called Reginald Hawkins, and he was the old program director at the time. Right. And I'm like, yo, I know you've built talent. Like, I want to be like, I want to be next. Right. And he was like, oh, what's your idea? And I'm like, I want a podcast. Like, I want to do something. I don't know, but I know that I'm good at this, but I want to be better. And then since then, it was just like my hip hop. No, I'm saying, but it was like a radio boot camp. Like it's literally like I'm a sergeant.
Yo, the way I see like how much like y'all did so fast, I'm like, how did you make that happen so quick? I feel like you hit the ground running with Transparent. Like
thank you.
You went from you interviewing me first, to all of a sudden it was big. Like the names just started coming. And I'm like, how did that start happening? Like
because I think that I'm not tied to the financial gain right now.
Yeah,
I'm tied to my vision and I'm tied to my passion, and it comes with a lot of stress and you know, like I said, like sometimes I gotta go to therapy because now I'm gonna be crying, like you know, like sometimes I'm really stressed out.
No, for sure.
But I'm not tied to the money part yet because I feel like I'm not there yet. So I'm tied to building my resume
and building leverage.
Leverage. Right. That's a great word, leverage, and making sure that when the next opportunity comes, I'm ready. Yeah. Because how is it that I'm going to vibrate on this level? Like, I want this, but I'm not ready yet. So it comes with like your routine being ready. Like how crazy can you go for what is it that you want? And honestly, it's you guys are giving me all these flowers, but I feel like I haven't even touched the surface of my talent yet.
You said a few things that were very important there.
Yeah.
One was the fact that, you know, from the outside perspective, like Ez was saying, it seemed like everything happened so quickly. But from hearing your story, it was a long time coming, and and then the fact that people on the outside just to see the progress. And the second important thing you said is you're not tied down by the money. A lot of people use that as a driving force to get to where they need to be, but don't realize in order to be deep rooted, you have to have a passion for it. The money comes later. Once you're really deep rooted in wherever you are, the money just comes in. There's no choice.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like, don't get me wrong, I have days that I complain to people that I know, and I'm like, why haven't I got the 6-episode 100K contract yet? Like, why haven't and I'm like, but why haven't I blown up on the internet? Why am I not viral? Like, I go through that. That's real. No,
I really wanted to touch on this too, because being a woman in this industry, like I wanted to touch on that. Do you feel like that has something to do with like some of the obstacles that you had, or do you feel like it's actually been more beneficial to you because maybe like you get more in-depth interviews because people are more open to speaking to a woman? You know what I'm saying? Is it more of a benefit, do you think, or has it been more obstacles in a way as a woman in this industry?
I think that like first and foremost, like I know who I am, so like. First and foremost, I'm a boss.
Right.
Like, so like,
all day. Let's put that out there. All breath. I like that. No, for real. You're your own driving force.
Yeah. But besides all of that, to be honest, like there is certain challenges that come. I'm a Black Latina.
Right.
My Blackness enters the room before my Latinidad.
Right.
So I'm trying to navigate both of these spaces. Right. My culture is both hip hop plus Latin. You know, I grew up because I felt represented in the Black community because I saw myself. You know what I mean? So it's like I see what I look like. So I'm attached to R&B. I'm attached to the classic. I'm attached to hip hop. So I'm in love with that world. But there was always a longing for me to be attached to my Latin side, but I was never represented in that side. So I've always been super hesitant, and I felt like I never gave 100% of really who I am, because I wasn't being fully transparent with the fact that like these are both of my cultures and my world, you know? And I think that when I started tapping into it and I canceled out the outside noise of what Latinidad is supposed to look like, it was when I unlocked a new level for myself. But there's definitely, it's been a lot. There's different challenges because in the Latin community for a long time, they wanted a look. Yeah. And I've tried and I went down that route. and it didn't work out for me. And I knew I was the best because I'm very competitive. Right. I'm very competitive. I know people say like, oh, that's not good. No. I want to be number one. I study the greats because I want to be that. You know, I want to be named in those rooms. But going back to your question, I think that right now we're in a space where people want easy digestion. People want McDonald's. I'm not that. Right. So if I need to be stupid to go viral, I'm not. Because the digital footprint is forever, and I'm never going to damage my legacy.
Ding. That's important for real. People don't understand. One quote that I always like to say is that you only get to make a first impression once. You never get to make a second impression. And then it's like once you ruin the character that you built, like the morals you've been standing on, and you do it one thing for clout, like they say, it can just lead you down a wrong road. You know,
it's hard to get your name back to where you want it to be, to
your
where
name
people
is
perceive you. Yes,
your name is everything. And
people,
like you said,
like they're like dancing on this little line right now, on this like what is that called, like little tightrope?
The tightrope. And we tightrope through this.
No, they're literally doing like jumping jacks on that right now.
That's the culture right now, though. I feel like too, though. Where it's like everybody's just waiting for everybody to mess up. Like we're just waiting for you to mess up.
Yeah.
And as soon as you do, we're gonna catch it. And if we don't catch you right now, we'll go back on your Twitter and see something you tweeted in 2010 and go get you canceled for that.
Exactly, but you're not gonna catch me slipping.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. Like that's how I feel, because it's so easy for me to go down a route and sit down with one of these greats that I talk to and ask them a clickbait question. But I want them to respect me because I want them to come back. I want them to come back. Oh, you know what? You could go viral once, amazing. But the fact that like if my name gets brought up, I don't have a zillion followers. I don't have a zillion subscribers on YouTube. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you're known in real life.
Yes.
They know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's huge.
And that goes a long way for me. So like when you have executives naming me like, okay, we're doing a media run and there's all these platforms in New York, but they name me as one of them. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, that's
you know what I mean? Thank you.
Jump a bomb one time because that's fine.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And there isn't a lot of women in my space doing it. There isn't a lot of women doing it. So when I see other women that they have a platform and they're going crazy, I respect that.
Yeah, shout out to Angela Yee. She's going crazy. She's about to lead the Breakfast Club. What I do know is that bag is on the way. You feel me?
It's already there.
Yeah. Oh, no, trust me. She already had the bag. She already had her own shows. But when I think about like goats and I think about like girls that I see going crazy, her, Angie Martinez, like a bunch of like the lip service that Angela Yee been doing, like it's dope to see like how the women have been like going crazy. Even Ari right now, she's been going crazy with her new podcast.
I saw that.
She just won a platform of the year with Drink Champs on BET.
Okay, that's fire. That's fire.
So to see all that growing,
yes, it's amazing. So it's like everyone can do it in their own way, but I've always liked to highlight Black and brown excellence, because I can sit there and ask you like, oh, what's good with your open case? Why am I gonna do that? That's a quick little Google search. My man, you got 5 open cases. I'm not gonna ask you that. You know
what you said that really resonates is the fact that you being real and using your realness to really, show what you're doing. For example, when they know that you're real, they know that like if something happens, they want to come on your platform.
Exactly.
They know that you're not gonna try to
just be
make a headline
and
run with it. Yes,
exactly.
Make a headline and run with it.
And that's what I want. I want that if you have a scandal, you're like, oh snap, we're gonna do the Yulissa sit down.
Let me do some damage control with somebody I know is not gonna just run with something.
And trust.
Yeah.
And you have to build that trust. So yeah, and you said Angela Yee, and one of my biggest cheat codes has been my mentor, because he did have a huge impact on her career, like starting off. So when I say like I'm in radio boot camp, I ain't lying.
Right, they put you through the ringer. They make sure you battle tested. It makes sense though, because it's not easy. And honestly, when you think about the women in hip hop that have been like big media moguls, they've been around for a long time. Like Cherry Martinez, they've been around for a long time.
Yes.
So it makes sense. Like y'all here to stay.
Yes,
y'all not going nowhere.
Relationships. The thing is that everybody wants to network up.
Right.
Nobody wants to network across.
Yes. I'm gonna come on Edge's podcast and your podcast. I'm gonna drop my free gems.
I'm gonna literally thank you, because hello.
We here.
We're gonna do that, and we're gonna continue networking across, because people want to see the end result and they're so tied to that.
Yeah.
But when you see someone like Angie Martinez and she's having dinner with Fat Joe and Mary J and all these people, and everyone's like, yo, that's so fire. Y'all so quick to repost it, but you won't support your friend's platform.
Damn. man.
Yeah.
Dang,
oh my
let's talk about it.
We networking across, baby. Like,
I like that. I like that. Everybody wants to network up. Now they don't want to network across. They don't want to look at the level playing field. They just want to move up and without thinking about, hey, there's people that are your peers that you can help and they can help and it's mutually beneficial.
Of course.
And you don't got to just look at somebody as I can only benefit from them. Like that's the reason why I want to mess with them.
They don't got the time for you.
That too, right?
They're busy.
Nah, for
what
sure.
do you have to offer them?
That too.
Your friend has more of an ability, or someone that's doing something that's on the same type of playing field as you, or maybe a little better than you. You know, they can drop the gems on you. They can tell you like, oh, come on, Saturday, let's do this Sunday. Yeah. But someone that has their day off, that they worked for that, they don't have time for you.
Why would they? What are you doing that they'll make time for you for?
But go ahead, keep telling Drake happy birthday. Big goofy.
Yeah, go ahead and keep acting like your best friend.
Listen, anytime Drake drops anything, any picture or something, I always see it posted on the timeline. Rihanna, I always see it posted. Megan Thee Stallion, I always see it posted on the timeline.
And I'm a stan, and I love them as they build their careers. But like, where's that support for your friends?
Yeah, 100%. No, you're right. No. But it's because we fall in love with these celebrities. So I kind of get the whole science behind that, like why people are like that. And I can't even blame nobody at the end of the day. But that's why
blaming them.
All I can ever say is like we just got to keep working harder. You know what I'm saying? Work so hard that they gonna have to fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? They gonna have to come mess with you. They gonna have to come tune in.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. Like I said, I see you working, and I see, like you just said, you had Akon laughing the whole podcast.
He was cracking up.
It's like, think about how many people weren't tuned in until they seen you on there with Wiz. They see you on there with Akon, P&B Rock, a whole bunch of other people. It's like, yo. Oh, yeah. We going to touch into all that.
And another thing is, a lot of people, your peers, they don't want to see you at that next level. They don't want to see you reach that plateau.
That's the harsh reality.
They'll sitting back watching from the sidelines for so long, and then once you start making big moves, now they can become supporters. Once you already have that fan base, when they saw you from the beginning.
That's what I'm saying. Work so hard, they got to come mess with you.
Listen, make so much.
Oh, that's Yulissa. Yeah, I went to school. Now you best friend.
You know what's funny though? The other day I said like, my day one's list is closed off.
Yeah.
I'm accepting day two's. I like that. My day one's is day one's is that's it. The list is done. I already know who I need to show up for because they showed up for me.
That's love. That's love. That's why we appreciate you so much for coming down here for making that time seriously. Because I know you busy. I know you do a lot on your own.
So church on Sunday. You my Chick-fil-A right now.
Okay. Now we touched on how we started the whole transparent on Dash Radio and everything. Yeah. So like, what would you say is probably your most memorable interview?
Wait, well, before you get into that, how long have you been doing transparency? I don't think you touched on like the timeline.
Transparent. Okay, so I officially have 2 years.
Okay.
So 2 years on Dash.
Yeah.
Like 2 years on like a bigger platform.
Right.
But before that, like I said, I interviewed Ez. Like I was doing it for like about a year by myself. And how I got the show was my program director got the opportunity, and he was like, oh, like, do you want to produce DJ Sus One's show? So I was like, you know, like helping them out with the show. They had a relationship with the studio in New York, and I was just kind of still playing the back, like just waiting for my time, like playing the background, still doing my friends' interviews, but also like, what did I do? Oh yeah, there was like Jack Harlow pulled up, like so many people pulled up, and so the first time that like my first celebrity interview was Jack Harlow.
Oh,
so they were like, oh, just give Yulissa 5 minutes, and I'm like, oh, I was so nervous.
Yeah. What year was this too?
It was right before the pandemic.
Exactly. So we had to preface this because Jack Harlow really just now
he
took off.
To where he is now.
Yeah, in 2020.
Yeah.
And you know what's some funny backstory real quick? It's crazy because I've been watching Jack Harlow's career since like 2014. Like literally when I met my boy Spuds, he was messing with Generation Now. And I had posted something. You were like, what do you even know about Generation Now? You were like, I'm too tuned in. I was like, you literally do you know I watched Generation Now blow up from the very beginning. Shout out my boy Spuds. Yeah. But him and Lil Uzi were on the same level, literally. In 2015, they both had like 5,000-6,000 followers. And I watched Generation Now. Shout out to DJ Drama and Cannon, because I don't know how they did it, but both of these, for them to create two complete superstars like that,
in their own right,
superstars.
In their own right,
and two completely different levels.
Sounds.
They don't sound alike.
Yes.
It's like that's shout out to them. That's a big play.
It's not my story to tell, but my program director, Reginald Hawkins, he told me that he went to DJ Drama's studio and Lil Uzi was actually cleaning the studio.
Yeah, I believe it.
Like,
I believe it.
That's the first time he met Lil Uzi. And it's just like, like you guys don't see that.
The grind. That's him interning. That was Uzi's intern.
Yeah, just being in the studio, you know. So that when I was producing DJ Sus One's show for Dash, like it was me being in the studio. It was me learning board ops, like what the board ops be doing, like we was, you know what I mean, and just learning every aspect, how to work a camera, how to do audio, all of that. And then the pandemic happened, and it was the last day before everything was open, and I went to Best Buy and I bought myself a $70 mic. And that $70 mic changed my life. Wow. Because I started just doing shows out of my mom's house. Yeah. I went back to my mom's house. Like, I'm talking to Wiz Khalifa with a $70 mic in my room, in my mom's house.
On a webcam. That is fucking crazy. Drop a bomb for Wiz one time.
Shout out Wiz.
Yeah, because we was just talking about how Wiz apparently is one of his top 5 favorite rappers of all time. He's top 5 influential for me. But he still listens to a lot of Wiz. I still do too. But, like, Wiz? That name? What? When I see you do Wiz, I'm like, there's no way you did that fast. I'm like, yo, what did you just do? It's like when you see an athlete take steroids and it's like, how the fuck you get that?
That's funny.
How did you just get that amazing all of a sudden? It's like, how did you do that? So it was beautiful to see that.
But you know what? As an intern, I actually snuck into his party. It was like he was having this party, and I told him I let the interview off with that story, and he was like, yo, next time you're coming to a show, you don't gotta sneak in. I was like, but yeah, like I snuck into the show off some basic name. I was like, yeah, my name is Mary.
I'm crazy. I'm with the staff.
Yeah, and like you had to leave your phone. Like you couldn't take your phone in. So I was just like, there was just so much weed in that environment, and I was like literally maybe like 21, and I'm like, yo, Wiz is right there.
That's crazy. I would have fanned out. I got to run across Wiz one time, but only got the quick head nod. We like walked past each other, but
it was chilling. It was a vibe.
Yeah, it was backstage. I didn't want to fan out too much. I was on tour with my boy Spuds.
Okay.
Ironically, because Lil Uzi was on that tour, if I'm not mistaken. But actually no, Drama was on that tour. Uzi wasn't on that tour, but he was popping in and out. But that's neither here nor there.
Nah, tell Spuds what's up. He's crazy with the camera.
Bruh, he don't talk with Jeezy right now.
That's amazing.
No funny shit.
No, you can talk about him because
he did all of Jeezy's marketing. All of Jeezy's marketing campaign, Spuds did that. All the visuals, everything you've seen that Jeezy's been posting the last couple months is all Spuds. All that content.
Spuds.
Yeah, I always gotta mention it because he's one of my most interesting friends for sure.
Yeah.
But so you say Jack Harlow, where is it? You know what it was that really fucked me up?
What?
When I see you doing like Fireboy and On My Land, and I see you doing all the Afro beat, I'm like, yo, you're tapping into a different bag.
You want to know something crazy? I just interviewed a guy who his name is Trey Bond, and he has. So Australia doesn't have a lot of R&B.
Australia.
Yeah, Australia. No, I'm not.
Australia really goes.
Australia doesn't have a lot of R&B, so he has a song out with Black.
Six Lack?
Yeah.
I call him Six Lack. Man, they talking about. Yeah.
Not Six Lack.
I always go to Six Lack. I'm like, it's not Black. It's not Black.
So he has a song out with Black, and it literally got like almost 800,000 streams within like a week and a half. And so I liked the song, so I hit him up. I'm like, yo, this is you on the song? And he was like, yo, I like your work. So my manager's gonna hit you up.
Yeah.
So I just released I haven't released it yet, but we just did an interview via Zoom. So he was in Australia and I was here, and they hit me up from Universal Australia, and I saw that like email, and I'm like, that's crazy.
What's even crazier is if you interviewed him on Monday, it was Wednesday for him.
Right? That's Monday too. Yo, you were smart.
That's what's crazy.
Yeah, I was like, yo, we're doing some future. You're in the future. I'm in the past.
Yeah, exactly. Y'all time traveling right now. You talking to a nigga that's in Wednesday.
That's crazy.
That shit is crazy to me.
Yeah, but I was the first interview I think in America for Fireboy.
Oh, wow.
What?
Yeah.
Yo, bro, drop a bomb one time. Listen, if you don't know who Fireboy is, you've been under a fucking rock.
Yo,
I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, we're really cool still too. Like,
wow.
I hit him up if you know, like music stuff. He checks in on my career.
That's so dope.
He's an amazing, beautiful
hell of a
person.
connection.
Yeah, he's a beautiful person, and I'm also tapped into like the Afrobeats culture because
that's a whole genre.
Yeah, it's taking over the world though.
It's literally a whole
that and Bad Bunny, just Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny
and whole Africa taking over. I swear to God.
Yo, but honestly, like what Afrobeats was to me was like such a beautiful experience with the music, and I love the sound.
Yes, I love.
I fell in love. Let me tell you, I got my friend. Shout out to my son Taylor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She actually from Patterson. She had hit me like, yo, bro, I got a friend of mine who needs a tattoo. His manager's gonna hit you. I'm like, his manager. I'm like, cool, whatever. Dude hits me. He's like, yo, can you? We set up the tat. He's like, it's my guy Techno. Da 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 da. I didn't know who he was. Never heard of him. You feel me? I go on YouTube. First video I see got like 300 million views. I'm like,
who this?
who the fuck is this?
So
I start cooking. I'm like, okay, this is cool. I'm like, but I don't know anything. I actually only watched like 2 videos because I purposely didn't want to become too much of a fan and then become awkward when I see him and fan out.
Yeah.
So I kept it real casual. I pull up to the crib. It's an Airbnb. We chilling. The whole time I'm doing this task, setting up, he's like making music the whole time. Like he would get up while I'm doing the stencil and everything, like just doing the drawing. He would get up, make a couple notes on the keyboard, get down. He'll start humming, making a sound, walk up, say it, and it'll be like the weirdest noise. He'll be like, "Coo, coo, 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 coo." And I'm like, what is this nigga doing? I'm literally like, I swear to God, I'm like, yo, what is this nigga doing? I didn't see the big picture, but I'm talking about he's literally on the mic like. I'm thinking he bullshitting, bro. I swear to God, bro. 3 hours later, this nigga had a complete song. It was a symphony of all those noises, bro. And it was part of the beat. It was the most fire shit in the world to me. I was like, yo, this is different. And I realized, like, once he played the song and he started putting words in it, he started humming and singing. I'm like, yo,
what does the song sound like? I need to hear it.
I can't even remember
He
it.
said ratata.
You think I'm bullshit? I swear to God. Yo, listen to Afro beats and you'll realize they ad-lib a lot of sounds into their beats. Like, that's not part of the actual instrumental. They'll be like, nah, I want to put this in there. And they just do that.
Wow.
And that be the hardest part of it. Like, and once I noticed that, I was like, let me listen to some more after I left. I drove home that whole ride. That's how I discovered Fireboy. I started discovering WizKid. I started discovering Burna Boy. Burna Boy, he probably my top 5 artists right now.
Yo, yeah.
Like,
Ez was driving home going.
Yeah, you're not gonna let me get that because you think, yo, so I wish I could have recorded it, but I had to. Y'all think I'm playing?
No,
I want to watch an in-studio recording session so y'all can see that shit because I can't even I couldn't even imitate the way he was doing shit.
Pull it up, you lying. Pull it up.
Yo, bro, think about what's that song? That
Yes. Okay.
Like that wasn't part of the beat. That nigga just got on there and just started. What the fuck was that?
Okay, Drake, relax.
I mean, I can't say it, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it be little shit like that makes the whole song better.
No,
that wasn't part of that beat. He just
true.
started doing that.
The vision is crazy.
And when you don't hear it, because he had headphones in, so all I'm hearing is him going do. I'm like, what is that? I'm not hearing what he's hearing.
Yeah.
And then he steps away from it, plays it on the speaker, and you're like,
wow.
You're like, yo.
I'm like, okay, this is a different kind of talent.
Of that.
Right.
Wow.
I'm like, this is different. This is not just rapping and ad-libbing. Let's get it. It's not that. It's a whole different level. Exactly. Like that's what we used to. They do it on a whole nother level.
It's a spiritual level.
Yeah, that too. I feel like I think that's what caught me about Afrobeat. Like it's one of them things you can't even listen to that shit and be in a bad mood.
Without moving.
Yes. Or like you can't be upset listening to that shit. Yeah. It feels like a sunny day all of a sudden when you listen to that stuff.
Yeah, they say movement is medicine. So
yeah,
I definitely
like that.
believe that. Yeah.
I think music is medicine too, for real.
Yeah,
I think,
honestly.
It is.
Music
scientifically, yes.
Yeah, I think music for real, the vibration, the noise, it makes us move. Like, why is it that we just naturally start vibing? Why? You know what I'm saying? Why do we feel happy? Why does it make us excited? You know what I'm saying? Why is it speaking to us like that? I think that's so dope.
Yo, this is crazy conspiracy theory. Are you ready?
Yeah, please.
So you remember before there used to be like really big bells?
Yeah.
So allegedly, like they say that people either like destroyed them or they're like buried somewhere because like those bells would do something with the frequency for us. It would create some type of hemistink on our brain. So like we would be like actually like better versions of who we are, like smarter, things like that. So when they found that out, because those bells would like reset something in our brains because of the vibrations, music, they like either like buried them or like hid them and all that.
No,
because those bells, where are those bells at?
What? This is our history buff right here, so he about to tell us some shit. Watch this. In 1963.
Here we go.
Go ahead. In 1724.
What's up? Put me out.
I was gonna say spirituality is about rhythms and tones. It's about frequencies. And everything has a frequency.
Right.
Yeah.
Even though we can't see it, Wi-Fi, everything.
It's like an electric pulse too that you can't see, but you can feel it.
Yes. And if you resonate with certain frequencies, it does something to your body chemistry.
Right. There's no reason I should be crying listening to this song, but it makes me cry.
Literally.
It's that's how deep it is.
Yeah.
If you go to the Eastern world, when they talk about spirituality, they'll talk about centering yourself in chi and stillness. If you go to Africa, even back to the natives, it's about movement and tones and rhythms.
Right.
Spirituality's practiced differently around the world, but it's interesting.
Yeah, it's dope because you say it like that and you're talking about those coaches, but you go to the South and somebody's playing no cap, they might be listening to Ghetto Angels and it makes them move a certain way. And it's the same, in a sense, it's the same thing as the spirituality. Yeah. People really get sad listening to these songs or get happy or they feel like they're praising, like, you know what I'm saying?
There's sound therapy. You can go to sound therapy sessions.
That's true.
Where certain sounds will put you in certain moods.
Wow.
Or take you out of a certain mood. Or trigger something in you.
Yeah.
You know, but we don't understand the science in that.
Yeah.
And I don't want I'm not getting deep into that today.
We can get deep.
I don't want to get too deep into that today because it's all about you. But you know,
it's about us.
Yeah, because we're talking about music. Because like I said, through all of this, it's underrooted in our love for music and the culture that we exist in. And I think that's what also drives us because we just naturally love this. Like when people tell me like I don't really like music, I'm like you're a serial killer. Like, you 100% kill people.
Okay,
like,
sociopath.
Like what you mean you don't like music? At least a certain kind. Like you might not like this, but you gotta listen to something.
That's weird.
Yeah, I've had people tell me that. Like I don't really like music. I've had clients of mine tell me like, hey, can you turn the music off? I'm like, what? What the fuck does this look like? Like, no, I can't turn this music off. Like,
you want to sit that dead silent?
Yeah, I'm like, this helps me focus.
Your needles are already silent, so we would say you're dead silent.
Yeah, we're gonna say in dead silence. So watch the TV. I'm like, nah, fam. Like that. Yeah, it's been very awkward before.
Yeah, I don't know.
When somebody tells you to turn the music off, it's like, damn, is my shit that whack? Like,
what playlist you want to listen to?
Yeah, like my shit trash. Like, what's what you saying? That's how I be feeling. I take that personal.
Crazy.
But spirituality and rhythms and tones have been been a history of humans through thousands and thousands of years.
I think that's how we ascend.
Yeah. No, literally.
Whoa, what that mean? Hold on. Because ascend to means go up.
Yeah.
So what does that mean?
Yeah. Like that's how you practice spirituality. Like either your spirit is ascending, like it's like through vibrations, like how we connect with like our higher purpose, our higher power.
Are you religious?
God. I am spiritual.
I knew it. You was giving me that the whole time just now. I'm like, she ain't say God yet.
No, I believe in God. I believe in God.
Oh, no, I'm not religious at all. But I ain't gonna lie, some of my favorite music be gospel music. Like, I listen to Kirk Franklin cleaning my house like I'm somebody's mom or something. I swear
I mean, on a revolution.
I listen like Chance the Rapper. He's also one of my favorite artists. And it's like,
oh my God.
I listen to Chance heavily.
I interviewed his brother.
Oh, you did? Interview Taylor. That's fire.
And I met his dad.
What? I know his dad's like a whole like government official and stuff in Chicago. In Illinois.
I have his father's number on my phone.
That's dope.
Like, cause after the interview,
Mr.
like
Bennett?
his Mr. Bennett. Mr. Bennett was
like,
you know what Mr. Bennett told me, and this was like, I was having kind of a bad day, like, and then after the interview, like, they gave me a standing ovation. That's number one, and then
standing ovation.
He was like, and then like after that, like we were walking down the hallway, and he says, you know, you have a gift, like you have to like continue doing this, and he just gave me like such deep words that I like literally started tearing up. And I, you know, I'm gonna say I'm a little bit of a gangster. So for me to cry,
right, you from Patterson.
Right. So I was like, hold up. And so he ended up giving me his number, and he was like, yo, if you ever need anything, I was like, yo, my number's next to Obama's on your phone?
Yeah, that is crazy. Yeah, he's one of the ones. People who don't know about Chance's dad. He's a real politician.
Mr. Bennett is up there.
Nah, that's so dope. And I feel like those interactions are so important. Like how you touched on how you had that mentor, and I feel like that has to be so important. That each one teach one is prevalent in any walk of life. Like you need that somebody to look up to that can guide you. So it's so important when people like somebody like Mr. Bennett reaches down to you and is like, yo, look, he wants to tell you that. He didn't have to tell you that.
No,
the innovation was enough for you to feel like, oh, I'm doing something right. But he's like, nah, yo, let me holler at you real quick.
It felt like it was. I felt like he was a vessel, and the message was from God. Wow. That's what it felt like.
That's dope.
Because that day I was just kind of like, I don't know, like I'm not near where I want to be. Like maybe I should look at a different direction. That's how I was feeling deep down inside.
Yeah, that's dope.
I'm really hard on myself. Like,
as you should. We gotta be our own hardest critics.
Yeah. So I was just like, I don't really know. And then like he just told me that, and it was like, oh, this is an affirmation from God, because like you said, he didn't have to tell me that.
Yeah, you didn't. So okay,
you have Obama's number. You don't have to tell me anything.
Right.
So go back to his question. So what are one or if some of your favorite interviews you've done?
Oh my God. Okay, Akon is one of my favories because it was. I did not think he was gonna be so funny.
Yeah.
And he's also a legend.
Yeah, he's from Jersey.
What? Big, huge. Listen. These youngins don't even know Akon.
Listen, when you say Akon, all you gotta say is T-Pain and Lady Gaga. Conversation's over. You're not even counting his career. Conversation's over.
And the fact that like he was so humble and he's building a whole Wakanda.
Yeah, literally.
And like his own currency, own like currency in Africa, and just like we talked about so much that wasn't just music. It was like business. It was like beautiful. Even like. It was just so much.
He's a billionaire. You were having a billionaire conversation.
Yeah.
People literally pay money to go to speak to them. Like, hey, Do you mind, like, not him specifically, but I know for a fact people pay to go sit down with a billionaire just to get anything. So for you to have that conversation, it's like, wow, how could you have been in that room if you didn't put in the work at
exactly.
So it all comes right back into fruition.
And Ez was like, wow, where'd this come from?
Right.
All the back work, nobody sees that. Nobody sees, like you were saying before, having anxiety, crying on the way to an interview. Nobody sees that. Nobody sees
you eating pretzels in the kitchen.
Starving.
I'm hungry.
So what's the future for Transparent? What's the future for you in general? Where do you see yourself in about 5 years and then 30 years? How about that? I want to see 5 and 30.
I don't know where I see myself in 30 years because the world keeps changing.
A billionaire?
Definitely billionaire.
Okay.
I want to be somebody's rich auntie. I have 5 nieces and nephews. So I want them to use my name to go into places like, do you know who my aunt is? Yeah, baby, you better say my name.
I'll make one call right now. My auntie comes.
We'll set this whole shit up. Yeah, Akon down here.
I want my nieces and nephews to be able to do that. Like, oh, who said? I'm gonna call my. You know who Yulissa Delgado? I would love that. But I think the world keeps changing, so technology keeps changing. So career-wise, I'm not too sure because I want to always stay kind of like on top of things. And social media wasn't even a job. Now, like, social media marketing is like, those people get paid
If you're not marketing on social media, then what are you doing as a company?
Yeah.
I remember I was going to college, not to age myself, and they were like, oh, shit, I'm getting up there.
No, you're not. We can't tell. I can't tell if you're 20 or 24.
Thank you so much. They ID'd me in DR. They were like, how old are you? And I was like, I'm grown.
Right. You can't.
And so I was going to college, and they're like, social media marketing is a career. You guys want to switch? I'm like, no, but
it's everything.
How everything changed. That's crazy.
It's everything.
That's crazy. You gotta take 10 steps. You gotta take 10
if you're
steps
not,
ahead.
then you a dinosaur in this game.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be fading out.
I still don't got a TikTok, dog. Trust me, I feel like a dinosaur. I'm like, yo, what am I doing?
Don't.
Right.
I don't have a TikTok either.
Johnny in the back, like, what?
I'm gonna be honest. The people, they're not on TikTok because the Chinese steal your information. But like,
shout out to the Chinese.
Listen,
y'all can take my info.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, they can find me. They already have everything on my phone.
Online.
If they want me, they can find me.
Right.
They know where to find me.
That's what I said.
If I wanted to get a 2023 Cadillac Escalade in your name tomorrow, nigga, we could do that. Yeah, that's all I can say. Like, we could do that. For sure.
If these scammers can run it up, you think the
That's what I'm
Chinese can run it up on you?
Bro, somebody just logged into my business account of a friend of mine and just wired themselves $22,000. Like I don't know how. Motherfucker got into his account and just wired that shit like it was nothing.
Really?
Never met him, never did nothing. He just, I don't know how, bro.
From your friend's account? Who your friend? He's single?
My friend's my dad. I just didn't want to put that out there. They just scrape my man's account. Nigga call me like, yo, buddy, borrow some money. I'm like, yo, what happened, nigga? You owe money? Like, what happened? You got gambling debt, nigga? He like, nah, bro, somebody just wired $22,000 out of my account. And I was like, yo, bro, I got the firmest 500 for you because I'm down right now. Listen, I'm like, I don't know what you want. I got the firmest 500. I'm down right now. But now, man.
Damn. But yeah, like, I don't know. When I think about my career and I think about where I want to be, for sure, I think a lot of people want to be an influence. I want to be an impact. And
I like that. Drop a bomb.
Yes. I want to be an impact, and I want to open the doors for people that look like me in my communities. And I want people to get paid for the things that they do. And I want to be able to, eventually have a team that I can, and I want the team to look like me.
Yeah, I think you get your own platform. I think you just go crazy, start a whole network or something. I can see that.
I see that for me too. Thank you.
See that.
And I want to go crazy, and I want to do that, and I want to empower the next people coming up as well. I think that we only really need 3 people in our lives, and someone told me this, so I'm going to share with you guys. I think it's someone that you can,
I said it's about to be a gem.
Oh yeah.
So let's count them. Let's go.
Yeah, I think it's someone that you can relate to, because you need to be able to. When you have a bad day, I could talk to you. I can call you up. As never answer the phone, but I'm gonna call you.
Everybody knows me for that.
He never answers the phone.
He been mad at me all week.
He don't be answering the phone like, damn, bro, I'm over here on the ledge, man. Like, can you answer?
I mean, the ledge is crazy. I know.
I'm gonna give you my number. We can call each other.
Mark probably mad at me too at this point.
Someone you can relate to, I think, is someone that you can learn something from.
Relate to, learn something from.
And someone that you can teach something to. Ooh. So a lot of people want to be just around people, but it's like if you have those 3 solid people in your life, you'll be alright.
Yes. Damn. Wow.
That's a beautiful way. Listen, it's a beautiful way to transition because unfortunately we all ran out of time. I wish we could stay here and talk even longer.
Talk all day.
Well, definitely. I know we're gonna catch up and we're gonna be so much further ahead in life, even if it's just a couple months from now or just a couple years from now. So I'm excited to see what the next steps are. I'm really hyped to see how you keep progressing and keep killing shit. So like I said, we want to say thank you. We appreciate you coming all the way out, taking the time.
Seriously.
Taking the time out of your busy schedule and giving us a great episode too.
Yeah, this is a great episode.
You think so?
This is a wonderful episode.
And we've been dying for some female energy on the show, so it was perfect to have you on. You were number one. I've been talking about you since the beginning. Like, yo, there's one girl I know that I know that'll also like come in and show up for me. I'm like, I got faith. I know Yulissa pull up.
I'm gonna always show up for you. I'm gonna show up for you the same way you showed up for me.
I'm
gonna be honest. Like in the beginning, there's not a lot of people that have faith in you because you don't know what you're gonna do. But like. Someone that has faith in you, like you have to go crazy for the people that believe in you. It's bigger than you.
Yes.
It's bigger than you.
Need a bomb on
that. But yo, thank you so much for having me here. I appreciate you guys.
You guys check out Transparent on Dash Radio. Hey. Let the people know what time exactly do you air?
I don't even know anymore. They give my time. You can follow me though on the gram.
Yes, please. Don Yulissa. We're gonna have that attached to the description.
YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube. I have all the interviews. I got you with my Akon interview, Wiz Khalifa, Fireboy. That was in LA. It was fire.
No pun intended.
Fireboy. I see what you said.
Who else? Just Matt Russ.
Russ. Soulja Boy. How did y'all
Big Draco.
Oh man, Big Draco. Listen, shout out to Soulja Boy.
Draco.
Listen, follow Transparent on Dash Radio. Follow Don Yulissa.
The most serious interview you've ever seen with Soulja Boy. It was deep, man. Deep.
Nah, check him out, man.
Thank you, man. It's been nothing but gems here.
Thank y'all. Like I said, everybody tuning in. We appreciate y'all, and I know they're gonna love this episode. So thank you again, man. It's been the Free Gems Podcast, episode 32.
32. We out of here.
All gone.
Let's go.